Well, who are you?
I'm Elsa's replacement?
Oh, the new maid, thank goodness! I was wondering how much longer the owner expected us to endure these conditions and still pay full price.
How long has Elsa been gone?
2 days, I think. Maybe even 3. I don't know. It's all a blur of dirt and dust and soap residue. My name is Guadalupe Comillo. My friends call me Lupe.
My name is Nancy Drew.
2 things, dear. First, the alarm clock is missing from my room. I don't necessarily need another one. I just don't want to be charged for that one, seeing as I have no idea where it went to. Second, be a doll and clean my room first. It'll hardly take you any time at all, especially compared to the other rooms. The other guests are all men. Single men.
Well, I'm happy to report that I've already cleaned your room.
Excellent.
What are you looking at through the binoculars?
Birds. I'm watching birds. That's what I am, you see, a bird watcher. Sometimes I go outside and watch, and sometimes I stay inside. It all depends on what the birds feel like doing and what I feel like doing.
So that's what brought you to Icicle Creek Lodge, the birding?
Absolutely. The place is a veritable birding paradise, even in winter. In fact, in the short time I've been here, I've seen hawks, eagles, orioles, cardinals, jays, nothing truly rare. But to a wildlife lover such as myself, seeing them in such a spectacular setting is thrilling nonetheless.
Have you met the other guests?
I've bumped into them at one time or another, yes. I don't spend all my time in front of this window. That Yanni fellow, he's very talented but extremely intense. His whole life revolves around being the best in the world. As for the 2 who are always sitting across the way playing that silly game, the older man, Bill Kessler, he's no deep thinker, but he's nice enough. But the other one, that college student, talking to him is like trying to converse with a giant turnip. No social graces whatsoever. I almost prefer talking to the handyman. Almost. Anyone that intent on destroying something as glorious as that wolf is hardly worth talking to.
Have you ever seen the wolf that's been hanging out around here?
No. Not that I'm looking for it, of course. Yanni occasionally skis by, and that dullard of a student, I see him snowshoeing occasionally. But I've yet to see the wolf. Have you seen it?
Me? I'm just the maid, remember? But I did find a bunch of tracks beyond the pond. You could try following them and maybe see the wolf that way.
Maybe I will. Have you told anyone else what you just told me?
No.
Good. Don't. You see, I'd like to see this wolf for myself, and I don't want everyone else going after it and scaring it away. And there's no telling what that trigger-happy handyman might do. So it'll just be our little secret, all right?
I've enjoyed talking to you.
Toodaloo!
Hey, excellent job on the snow shoveling, eh? We had ourselves one fine time out there because of you, especially Lou here.
I beat him 5 times.
By the slimmest of margins. What's up, kiddo?
Are you by any chance related to Rolf Kessler, the guy who used to build carousels around the turn of the last century?
No idea.
Well, I'll let you get back to beating Lou.
Drop by any time.
What's up?
So you go to school in California?
Yep. University of California at Brea.
What kind of degree are you working on?
Master of Fine Arts.
Cool. So what's your favorite medium?
What is this, like the Spanish Inquisition?
Hey, give her a break. She's just trying to make pleasant conversation.
Oh, right. My favorite medium? Dirt.
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you correctly.
I create works of art by manipulating naturally occurring geophysical substances like dirt. Sometimes I just use my hands, but most of the time heavy machinery is involved.
Oh, brother.
Nobody understands my art. But that's cool. To be great is to be misunderstood. FYI, Ralph Waldo Emerson said that.
Is this your first time at the lodge?
Yep. My car broke down on my way to Lake Louise last summer. Pulled in here to wait for the tow truck and figured it'd be a cool place to visit during the winter, so here I am.
So, you like to snowshoe?
I like doing stuff outside. Snowshoeing's about all I can afford.
Is it a hard sport to learn?
You don't learn how to snowshoe. If you need to get through snow that's too deep to walk through, you slap on some snowshoes and you just do it.
Do you ever see anyone else when you're out there snowshoeing?
I see that Yanni guy sometimes. I'll be plodding along and he'll go zooming by. Those skis of his are like rockets, man. He's all like zippy zoom.
Do you ever hear explosions?
Yeah, and they freak me out. It doesn't take a very big sound to trigger an avalanche. And when you're out there by yourself, nothing will ruin your day faster than a couple of tons of snow roaring your way at 100 miles an hour.
Tell me about it. What do you think about all the weird things that have been happening around here?
I think they're kind of cool. Accidents make life colorful, you know?
You wouldn't be saying that if you were the one who'd slipped on those ice-covered stairs or eaten that bad potato salad or had those 4 flat tires.
Hey, I had that broken window.
Broken window?
I went snowshoeing on like the 3rd day I was here, and when I got back, the window in my room was broken. Glass was all over the place.
Who broke it?
Don't know. Don't know what broke it either. There was no rock on the floor, no bullet, no nothing.
It was the wolf. Tried to jump up into your room, but didn't quite make it.
That's bogus, dude. My room's on the 2nd floor, and besides, wolves don't do stuff like that.
Hey, that wolf does a lot of stuff wolves aren't supposed to do. That's why it needs to be hunted down.
It's just doing its thing, man. Get off its case. Anyway, my window broke and nobody knows why. Pretty awesome, huh?
I'll catch you later.
Rock and roll.
Hello?
Hi, Chantal. It's Nancy Drew.
You know who's behind the accidents?
Not quite yet.
Oh.
About Tino, I'm not totally comfortable with the idea of consulting with him on this case.
Why not? 2 heads are always better than one, and I find him to be very knowledgeable and kind of charming.
If I need any suggestions, I usually call people I, trust.
I insist that if and when you're stumped about something, you ask Tino to help you out. That's what I'm paying him for. You can trust him. He said that because of what happened on that train, he learned the error of his ways, and he's a better person for it. Okay?
Okay.
Good.
I'd like to know more about the accidents. I asked Ollie, but he said you said he wasn't allowed to talk about them.
I didn't mean he couldn't talk about them with you. Ugh. I'll give him a call. As for the accidents, the first thing that happened was the worst. The Faringdale family and Becky the cook all came down with food poisoning and had to be hospitalized. Somehow, the potato salad got contaminated, although Becky swears it wasn't because of anything she did. I cannot tell you how awful it was. All 5 people became violently ill at roughly the same time. But were they all in the same room? Of course not. They were spread out all over the lodge. Poor Elsa was cleaning for days. And the odor? Oh my gosh. Anyway, then Carl Jenkins slipped on the stairs outside and broke his leg. Then Lou Talbot's window was broken. Then Elsa the maid's tires were slashed. Then the phone wires were cut. And then... oh yeah, and then the Southwaites were almost overcome by fumes when gas started leaking into the sauna.
So, who's suing you?
No one yet. But my lawyers are afraid it's just a matter of time and are trying to figure out what preventative measures to take.
Did you know that some photos are missing from the display case in the lobby?
Really? Last I looked, they were all there. I think.
The caption for them says something like, "Young and old have stayed at Icicle Creek Lodge."
I can't remember what they were pictures of, and I sure don't know why they'd be missing.
That bone Trapper Dan found is missing from its case, too.
First the accidents, now someone's stealing from me? Nancy, you've got to find out what's going on there. If you don't, I'll never be able to convince my dad I'm not a loser. Ever.
How come the entries for last year were deleted from the guest register?
They've been deleted?
That's what the computer says. Contents deleted.
Well, I didn't delete them. Freddie.
Ollie's daughter? Has she done other things like that?
No, but You know how kids are these days, always hacking into computers, programming them to spread viruses and steal passwords and blow up the world.
I think that's only in movies. Besides, pretty much all this person had to do was press the delete key.
I still say it was Freddie. Last week, I called that Snow Princess game she's always playing idiotic. I think it hurt her feelings. But she'd just gotten done plastering me with snowballs. What'd she expect me to say? That felt great. Do it again?
The guests that are in the lodge now, did any of them stay here last year?
Let's see. Lou Talbot stayed here last summer, but only very briefly. His car had broken down and he was waiting for a tow truck. Oh, and Yanni, he was here last winter. He and his trainer, they were checking out places to train. They didn't stay long either.
Has anyone talked to you about the World Championship cross-country skiing competition that's going to be held somewhere in this area year after next?
That is something I am not at liberty to discuss.
In other words, the answer is yes.
I didn't say that. Why do you ask?
That would tend to make Icicle Creek Lodge a very desirable piece of real estate, wouldn't it?
If the championship is held nearby, which as far as I know, still hasn't been decided. You think someone's been causing these accidents to run me out of business so they can buy the lodge from me on the cheap?
It's a thought.
And a pretty nasty one at that.
Is it true that you promised Ollie a raise, but you haven't given it to him yet?
He told you that? I can't believe it.
Meaning...
Okay, I mentioned to Ollie once that I thought he maybe deserved a raise, and now every time I turn around he's all like, "Where's the raise you promised me? Where's the raise you promised me?" Doesn't he realize I have a few other things to think about right now? I swear, sometimes that crabby little whiner drives me nuts.
You'll hear from me again later.
One more thing. Ask Yanni if it would be all right if I used his name and picture on the Icicle Creek Lodge website. I mean, when I finally have a website, it would be great publicity, okay?
Sure.
Good.